Good afternoon runners, and welcome back to another video from me, That Running Girl. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 top tips how to stay motivated running during the winter months. This is the anti-influencer guide because let's be honest, there are so many content creators out there who are influencers and elite athletes who get paid to run, who get free gear, all the support they need, and it's much easier for them to stay motivated during the winter months. So this is my list compiled by 20 years of running experience, 20 winters trained through independently, and 32 marathons down. So let's get into it. Number 1 is adapt your schedule. So this is really boring but really important. It's time to be realistic and realize that you do have to adapt for winter. So similarly to when you went out training in the summer and you would maybe go earlier to avoid the heat and the humidity, it's the same thing with winter. Whether that means doing treadmill running, getting out earlier before work, or going with a head torch, just adapting and realizing that this is just a temporary training measure and that you will be back to normal in the spring and the summer, it always keeps me optimistic. Everyone glorifies summer running, but remember all those super sticky, humid, dry runs where you felt like you couldn't breathe, you couldn't hit your paces, and in winter with the thicker, denser air, there's less heat stress, less dehydration, and lower heart rate. So it really does make for the ideal training conditions. Also detaching from winter weather and making sure that you're not connecting emotion with winter weather. So when you wake up in the morning, if it's really rainy and gloomy, try not to attach a negative emotion with that and just see it as neutral. This can be really difficult, but this has been an absolute game changer for me. Just realizing that sunny weather does not equal happiness and gloomy weather does not equal negativity or depression. Once you get into that mind state, it is a real game changer. Number 2 is to invest in winter running gear and find a layering system that works for you. So everyone is super different in this and everyone runs to a different temperature, both in general and while running. Personally, I run cold in general, but while I'm running, I get hot quite easily and then get cold super easily when I stop. So anything like a waterproof jacket for me is just always too much. It annoys me. It feels like I'm wearing a sweaty bin bag and I absolutely hate it. So invest in base layers, mid layers, and outer shells, and then mix them up according to your temperature. So personally for me, above 10 degrees, I will wear autumn gear, and below 10 degrees, I will wear winter gear. Make sure that you jump into a hot bath or shower immediately after a run if you can, to ensure that your core body temperature does not plummet, and eat a mixture of carbs and protein after your session to warm from within. Number 3 is to find a community and run either for coffee or with friends in a WhatsApp group. So I used to do all my running and all my talking about running with people on forums online. I used to feel really, really isolated in running because long distance running can be really, really lonely and used to be really, really lonely before running boomed on social media. And it still can be sometimes, which is why it's really important to invest the time in finding, a coaching group or a WhatsApp group or even a Strava group or a little group from Parkrun, where you just find your tribe and you find your virtual cheerleaders and invest in them, encouraging each other in training, encouraging each other, talking about races that are coming up, talking about races in the next year, and it can really help to keep your mind focused on the next finish line. Number 4 is to realize a whole new year and a whole new chapter is on the horizon. So what this means for me is it's a chance to go for PBs, whether in general or age cap PBs. It's a chance to do something new in coaching, maybe using a runner like a coaching app, or using an in-person coach, which I've been doing since January, and realizing that there's a whole new year of opportunities running wise, it's a really, really exciting feeling. When I started being coached in January, it was both terrifying and exhilarating, but I have made so much progress, both in my running and in my confidence levels. And yeah, it's just been incredible. And if I would have thought back to where I am a year from now, I would have never thought I would come this far. So I listened to a podcast a few years ago, which is the Runner's World American Edition podcast. And one of the speakers on there said a quote that has always stuck with me, which is, never limit where running can take you. So they mean spiritually, emotionally, physically, every way that running can enhance your life, just try to do that. So, you know, whether that's traveling to new places for races, or maybe even starting a YouTube channel so that you can encourage other people to run like I do and other people do. Just realizing that winter isn't a dead end and that there is new life on the horizon beyond once you get past, you know, Christmas time, and looking into the new year is a really optimistic mindset to get into. And number 5 is to enjoy the off season and take time to reassess goals and race plans. So let's be honest, I am not a fair weather runner, and you are probably not a fair weather runner too. We are all 4-season athletes, which means respecting the seasons you're in. So by this, again, it's going back to the first point of acceptance. You can't change the winter. You can't change when you wake up one morning and all of the roads are icy, but you can put your trail shoes on and you can get that run done and be less slipping all over the place. You can't change that there aren't as many races on, but you can make sure that you know, upgrade your training so that when you're hitting races next year, you feel like at a different fitness level. You can't change that it's super cold or, you know, but you can invest in running gear that will make sure that you're not super cold. Do you see what I mean? There's always something that you can do to better the situation. So buy a calendar and a run diary and set out all the races that you want to do next year. Or maybe you could make a collage, like a hard copy or a digital, of all the races you did this year and stick it on your wall for inspiration. Celebrate how far you have come and just accept this time of year and the festivities, and maybe try and be a little bit less rigid. Sometimes runners can be real creatures of habit. We all are real creatures of habit, and for me personally, when I started being a bit less rigid in my running plans and realizing that I could do a Sunday run on a Tuesday, or, you know, I could switch things around and do a tempo session that I'd usually do on a Tuesday on a Friday. As long as it works in your general schedule, trying to adapt so that you actually enjoy life and, you know, the winter season and Christmas festivities and seeing friends and family really makes you a balanced person as well as a runner, I feel. And I just feel that that's really important. So yeah, I really hope those 5 tips have helped you. I feel like they are quite unique tips because on this channel, I really make sure that I don't do a rinse and repeat of any kind of content that anyone else puts out there, because this is my running journey and I try and be as absolutely authentic as I can in all of the content that I put out there. And I really think about what's helped me in my running and what continues to help me going forward as a person, and I try and share that with everyone. So I hope you all found that those tips useful to keep your running and your motivation fire, and I hope you are running well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.